Hey guys, today we're going to learn about websites and how to determine if it's a good website to use or not. So using Google, I'm at a website that comes up pretty high when you're looking for facts about planets called planetfacts.org. Now the first thing I'm going to do is look at the extension. And so .orgs may or may not be helpful. I mean, any website you find, you're going to have to evaluate it, but in general, .gov and .edu are the most trustworthy, followed by perhaps .org. Usually anything that's .net is not a good choice. So when you look at a website and you think, oh, this information is useful to me, then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to kind of look at the website, and I do see some ads here that are kind of not related to it. So I'm starting to question. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply CRAP, which CRAP is how you evaluate it. And so I'm looking for how current it is, how reliable it is, who's the authority, and point of view. So is there a certain bias there? So looking at currency, this is important because you figure that out. You do have to write when you create the citation what that is, but you can see right there that it's 2014. So usually this is found at the bottom of the page. So you're also looking for how reliable it is. And a large part of that is authority. So I'm here like, well, who is making this website? So a lot of times there's an about us or something like that. So in the case here, there is an about us. And so it says here, you got to learn about the majestic sites. You're going to learn about the history. But there's no information on who's actually creating this website. So I'm going to go over to contact us. Maybe there's some information there. And at this point, I'm just really not finding anything. So if you can't figure out if the person who's writing the information is an authority or not, then you do not want to use that website. So that's really part of it. Okay, so here's another website that comes up pretty high when you're searching for animal information. This is A to Z Animals. So once again, I'm going to start my CRAP. I'm going to look down at the bottom, 2008 through 2013. So it's pretty current. It was last updated around 2013. So I'm going to look at, so I'm going to check on the reliability here and the authority. A lot of times with reliability, you're looking at, you're double checking the information to see if it makes sense. So in this case, as far as authority, it's developed by someone called Millie Bond. Now this is something you definitely want to do. You actually Google the person. So I've done that. And I Googled her name in quotation marks and, of course, the website that it's on. And I'm getting lots of postings from that website, but I'm really not getting anything else except for other people who have cited that website. And given the fact that it says it's for children of all ages, I would say that Millie is probably rehashing a lot of information that's already out there. So people make money off of doing that. So they will essentially reprint Wikipedia articles. And so since I cannot determine that Millie is an animal specialist, once again, I'm not going to use this website. So it's already out for that. While authority is usually what kind of prevents you from using a website, you also have to look at that last point, which is point of view, which is sometimes where bias comes in. Now, as far as bias goes, definitely all sites can help you to figure out if a news organization may be biased or not. A lot of you already know that Fox News does tend to have a bias. But as I'm reading this article here, say I was interested in using it for information, I notice here at the end that it says it does give an opinion, and the person writing this article says it takes a special kind of evil to confiscate a 6-year-old child's Christmas gifts. You know, so so there is a bias working here. So that might be a reason to not use it unless you are trying to directly show a biased argument. In this case, applying to CRAP tests, even when you're on a database, you still need to apply it. So this is about barefoot sneaker. It's called the New It sneaker, and it is from the New York Times. But you'll notice it's a very short article, and it talks about a sneaker style quotient can usually be expressed as a function of its retro charm. It almost sounds like an ad for Nike. And so given the shortness of this article and the fact there's very little information in it and that it sounds like an ad, I would not choose to use this as research. If you ever forget CRAP, what the letters stand for, or you're having trouble, I recommend you follow the steps that are always on the LibGuide. Lots of great ones there, and the most common one I said is the authority. A lot of times it's the authority that's the main thing that takes a website down and makes it unusable. Any questions? Contact Ms. Smithfield.